Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning. And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Nikes. Oh, man. Oh, we're going to have a very interesting conversation tonight. Have mercy. Oh, my God. My Lord. We got a lot to talk about this evening. I might open up the phone lines in a little bit to chat with you guys and get your opinions about this latest piece of information, because we got to talk about this. Like I said, we talk about everything on this channel, everything from true crime, pop culture, to politics, to controversial topics, etc. You name it. Open conversations about things that we need to have conversations about, so that we can bring awareness to certain things, right? Have those conversations here so that we can move on in life and be better with ourselves. Live long and prosper, that whole thing, whatever you call it. All right. So we got some things to talk about. Real talk. We got some things to talk about. And unfortunately, I can't be on for a very long time because I got a pop-up video that I'm going to be putting on in a little bit. And it revolves around another story, more in the true crime era, or in the true crime genre, that I definitely want you guys to have some time to watch and listen to as well. But this one, I had to talk about it, y'all. We can't not talk about this, because right now everybody and their mom is up in arms. Everybody's beside themselves over Kanye West. And yeah, we got Candace back in the conversation again. Hamburger, just when I thought everything was cool, she back in here being a part of this mucky muck. We got to talk about it. We definitely do, okay? You see the title down below, so you already know what you're marching into, so let's keep it reals. But also on part 2, low piece of it, what did you expect? What did you expect? We got a lot to break down. We got a lot to talk about. So let's get into this, all right? Welcome, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to every single last one of y'all that are watching on every corner of the planet right now. I appreciate all y'all for coming in here and just being a part of the conversation. We're talking about Kanye West again. He's back in the mess. He's back in the fray. And we definitely have got to talk about this. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 100 likes. Like we always do. I see a bunch of y'all starting to file in. Good evening, okay? Good morning and good afternoon to every single last one of y'all. And for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, do me a favor. Crush that subscribe button, all right? We're working our way towards 100,000 subscribers. And it'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. Of course, check out my Patreon. Check out my locals page. And, of course, check out my merch. I got 20% off of anything in store right now on sale. So go and check that out. This hoodie is on that website as well. I see a bunch of y'all saying, ooh, nice hoodie. Nice hoodie, Pascal. Well, this hoodie is on the website right now. 20% off, okay? So we got to get into this conversation. Okay. I know a lot of y'all probably have already seen a bunch of people talk about this already. And I think that this is interesting. I'm just going to say it's very, very interesting. Let me just throw the photo up. That's what I'm going to do. Just get things started. Okay. Kanye West had a fashion show in Paris. Okay. And no, it's not a new track to one of his latest albums. Literally, he had a fashion show, a Yeezy fashion show in Paris. Candace Owens and a bunch of other models were involved in this. And some photos were taken. And this is what they looked like, with Candace Owens standing side by side. And it says, "White Lives Matter." Now, the word Twitter has gone up in flames. Let's just keep it real. Twitter's just lost its damn mind. He broke the internet. Let's just say that. And once again, we have Candace Owens standing right next to him, being a part of breaking this internet thing. Okay? So we got a lot to say. We got a lot to talk about. We are going to get into some things. This is controversial, obviously. Obviously. Like I said, look at the title down below. Okay? Obviously, this is controversial. Obviously, everybody and their mama's up in arms and just surprised. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not. I'm not surprised. Maybe some of y'all going, "Oh, clutch my pearls. Oh, my Lord, what he say? What he wearing?" I'm not surprised. For many, many reasons. But before we go into those many, many reasons, let's get into this article right here. Kanye West sports White Lives Matter shirt at Yeezy fashion show in Paris. I mean, he showed up ready. He had a mouth guard. I think he had a little rouge on his cheek to make it look like he was bruised. I don't know. It was interesting. It was a very interesting thing. But just about 2 years after pledging allegiance to a suspected, who we're talking about. Allegedly, all right? Kanye West has taken his pro-white rhetoric plenty steps further without saying a single word. All right, now we already know that instead, the divisive rapper turned fashion mogul let his wardrobe do the speaking for him in the form of a shirt that had 3 words that said in all caps, "White Lives Matter." You can see it right here so that you guys can see another angle. There's many angles to this, okay? Twitter, like I said, has been showing clips and videos of him rocking the White Lives Matter shirt. But what's interesting is that he was not the only one wearing the shirt. Not only just Candace Owens and Kanye. There were other models that were wearing it. There were that were walking on the runway wearing these things, so on and so forth. Okay, let's be real. Kanye West has been a person that has been very interested in pushing the envelope, being controversial, running amok, acting a damn fool, saying things to just shock and awe. Even back in the day, before he changed his perspective, let's just say that, he was on a fundraiser saying President Bush doesn't care about black people. Okay? So he's always been controversial. Okay? Just now he's more controversial in the conservative realm. And I think, and obviously, as we are already seeing, he is being embraced. He is being pulled in. Okay? He's being pulled in and highly revered nowadays in the conservative realm. I mean, let's be real. You see the photo with Candace Owens, and she's standing right next to that dude, right next to him. Okay? But let's be real. What else is going on here? What is he planning? What is he plotting? Something's up here. Is this really a political statement? Or is he just making a statement to shock and awe? Is this really thought-provoking or not? These are the questions that I pose to you guys. As I saw this photo, which I'm going to show you guys here again. Let me just pull this up again real quick so you guys can see this photo. As you can see in this photo, right? I mean, let's be real. All right. It is shocking. It definitely does give you, it provokes an emotion out of all of us, whether it's good or bad. Okay. Whether it is good or bad. I'm just speaking, I'm sitting on the fence for right now. But it definitely provokes something out of every single person that sees this. Now, maybe he's trying to poke fun. Maybe he's trying to point at maybe the hypocrisy of it. I don't know. The double step. I don't know what it is, what he's trying to do, but obviously it's enough to get people out here in these streets scratching their heads and wondering what the F, or they're going, damn right. There's not a lot of people that are just sitting on the fence and going, I don't know how I feel about this. Either you are on one side or you are on the other. Not really much in between here. Okay. So we see this. We see this photo. We see what he's wearing on his back. Okay. Black Twitter is going off the chain right now. All right. Black Twitter's lost its damn mind, understandably, because we know what this phrase stands for in certain groups, some of the triple Ks, et cetera, et cetera. So what is he doing? Is he doing this trying to take it back? Or is he just doing this as a publicity stunt to try to get the shock and awe? Remember, let me throw this out too. Some are art, okay? Let me say this really quick. I am not, just a quick disclaimer. I am not, nor am I ever going to try to defend Kanye West, but I have to play devil's advocate here and ask the questions, okay? So I just want to make it abundantly clear. I have my thoughts on the White Lives Matter shirts. I will get to that in a second. But let's talk about art, right? Let's talk about it, shall we? Now, there's art that could be just there for beauty. Okay? There's art that is there to provoke an emotion. There is political art. There's all types of realms of art, right? So when you see something like this, is this art? Let me show you guys this again. When you see this, is this art or no? Because art is supposed to, hopefully, provoke an emotion from you. Whether you like it or not, it's made to get you angry. It's made to make you cry. It's made to make you fall in love. It's made to make you feel some sort of emotion. So I'm asking you guys, do you consider this art? I know a lot of people would be like, well, it's just a bunch of white letters. It's a bunch of letters in caps on a shirt. Well, I mean, Andy Warhol made a lot of different types of art that was very simplistic. Could this be his way of creating art, making a statement through his artistic expression, through this fashion show he did in Paris? Or is he just stirring the pot because he's bored? I think it's the latter, personally. I think it's literally the latter. But at the same time, Twitter's pissed. And I'm probably the only person out here on these internet streets that's going to keep it real with y'all and sit here and go, I'm not surprised. Nor do I even give a damn. I don't care. The only part that I care about is what this says to a certain demographic. That's the only part that I care about. What is this going to say to those other to that other demographic, all right, that I'm not a part of, nor would I ever be a part of, that are out here, congregating, protesting, that wear shirts like this, that cause a stir, that want us to go back to Africa type thing. Now he is normalizing this, and of course, Candace Owens, to the point where you are going to see a realm, an angle, a demographic of people that may not have worn it before, but now they see that it's kind of okay, that Kanye West and Candace Owens are giving them the thumbs up. They're going to start wearing this now. And we're going to see this more and more now. That's my concern. I don't really care if it's art or not. I don't see it. I personally don't see it as art. I think this is just something, his way of just trying to say he's got something about to drop. That's what I think. Okay? I think he has a new Donda 15 coming out, or he's got a new pair of Yeezys that's about to drop. He got an album, he got something about to drop. And this is just his way of stirring the pot. This is his way of publicity, right? PR stunt. And nothing more than that. But I will say this. That's funny because I literally thought of that too, shooting the breeze. I literally thought that same thing, Bree. Thanks for the 5. Why does it make me think of ends in Paris? Yeah, literally when I started with the show, I was thinking that. I'm like, nope, not that album. Not that album. Okay, but when you see this, how does it make you feel? Because I keep wondering if this is a thing where we're supposed to, if this is supposed to obviously evoke some sort of emotion, anger, sadness, maybe him. Let me throw this back up here again. Maybe this is his attempt. Maybe this is his attempt in two different things. One, trying to bring equality. Meh. Him trying to bring equality, or him trying to normalize the phrase. Like I said, many questions for you guys. Excuse me. Many questions for you guys. Albus, thank you so much for the 100. I appreciate it. Is it art? That's what I think about his Yeezy shoes all the time. What is it? Check out Pascal merch store, y'all. Better product. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of his Yeezys. I'll be honest. I think his Yeezy slides are fire. I think they're dope. His slides are really nice, but I'm not a fan of his shoes. Okay, personally. And hey, to each their own. People wear them till they fall off their feet. Real talk. It's just not my stilo. But then I see something like this, and I know what it like. The way I see White Lives Matter, it translates to me, and it evokes a certain emotion that is not positive. I don't look at that and go, yeah, I'm gonna wear that shirt too. Nah, I don't see that. Personally, I do not. But I know that there's a lot of people that would want to wear this shirt, that are afraid to wear said shirt because it has a negative connotation to it. It has a stigma attached to it. Now that he's putting this out, there's going to be a group of people. I'm waiting to see Marjorie Taylor Greene walk up into the friggin' Supreme Court or into whatever the buildings are and rock one of these shirts with pride. Because now she says, now in her mind, or in some of these politicians' minds, they're thinking, well, Kanye wore it. I can wear it too. That's the thing I'm concerned about, personally. My own personal. I think we all should be able to live how we want to live and be happy and not hurt people and not be discriminatory towards any groups of people. But this shirt says something else, in my personal opinion. Okay. Yeah, Raven McCall, I did say MTG. Okay. But I'm saying, I'm interested to see what happens here. Amy, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like I said, guys, this show is more than just a show about true crime cases, which we do talk about those to a great extent. And I will continue to talk about those stories all day long. But we also talk about the controversies and the WTF moments that happen in everyday life, especially when it comes to pop culture. This, I think, is a very interesting publicity stunt. And I don't think it's a good one, in my personal opinion. Now, I know that there's other people out here that will agree to we will have to agree to disagree on this. But I think that there's other ways he could have said whatever he needed to say without actually doing this, in my personal opinion. Okay. Shooting the Breeze, welcome back. Welcome back to becoming a member. I appreciate you coming back. Thank you so much. Oh, she comes back. But, and Whitney, I agree. Racism sucks, period. With a T. Okay. Not with a D, a T, period. So racism sucks. Okay. But this is very interesting. So let's continue. Okay. Let's continue. You know, like, okay, ever since the Black Lives Matter movement and all that stuff, we're not going to get into detail with that. But once that whole thing started, then of course there was the whole argument of, well, white lives matter too, or, all lives matter, so on and so forth. You're just telling me that Black lives matter and white lives and all lives matter, or all lives don't matter, just Black lives. And I'm sitting here going, okay, instead of all that mucky muck, let's just push all that crap aside, okay? And we all know that the lives that are on this planet matter. There are certain demographics, certain communities that don't get the respect or the acknowledgement or the coverage or the protection that some other communities get. On the free 9s and 9, almost off on the jump. And that's what's frustrating. That is a very true thing. In fact, sorry to go on this tangent, but I got to go on this tangent, real talk. There are stories of countless missing persons. Let's just go into missing persons real quick. Had a very amazing conversation with someone today. I might drop the information and the surprise to you guys in a little bit because I'm very excited about it. And it's big news. It's big news. But I was having a very good, in-depth conversation with somebody, and they were basically agreeing the hell out of me with me when it came to the focus on certain stories. As soon as we talk about a person who happens to be maybe Caucasian, maybe has some nice photographs, everybody and their mama wraps their whole life around that. And I'm not knocking those people. I'm not saying that their stories and their cases don't matter. They absolutely 110% do. But you take the same scenario where you put a little bit of melanin in their skin. Those stories, those things do not get covered as much as someone who happens to be Caucasian. And that's the absolute bloody truth. It's the truth. So you have to push even harder. If you are a Black family trying to find your son, like Daniel Robinson, still missing right now, to this day, still missing. We don't see people obsessing and talking about it. We don't see the what's his name? Dude, what's his name? I forgot his damn name. He's a YouTuber. He started fights with people on YouTube over Kylie Rodney. We don't have people out here causing a ruckus and speaking up and talking about those particular lives at all. Zero. I covered those stories. I'll get a few people who will watch it. Okay, that's fine. But then as soon as I talk about, let's say, Kylie Rodney, or we talk about Debbie Collier, or we talk about Eliza Fletcher, everybody and their mama wants to tune in, and that's okay. But that's the reality that we live in. That's the reality. Ryan Upchurch, thank you. Exactly. Okay? I don't see them talking about other stories. They're just still talking about, and I'm not saying Ryan Upchurch, I'm just saying other true crime stories. They're only talking about the same story, just chopping it up and screwing it, and not and talking about the same points that they've already talked about in the previous show or in the previous video. Instead of them just repeating the same thing for views, why aren't we looking at other people, other cases, others that are people of color, okay, aside from Jalissa Fuentes? Because the only reason why Jalissa Fuentes came out here and was out there in the forefront is why? Adventures with Purpose stated it. We are going to go and try to find Jalissa Fuentes. And then everybody's like, who's Jalissa Fuentes? Suddenly everybody cared. But it's the truth. It is very much the truth. I see it all the time. If it's a missing person and it's a female, black female that's missing, it'll be a blip on the news, local news. Oh, such and such is missing, blah, blah, blah. And then they kick rocks to the next story. And then today we're talking to puppies. And it's like, what the hell? You'll spend all this time and effort to circle around and do sky cam view of helicopters and stuff of these to find this particular person. But when it comes to any of these other stories of people of color, this is true. It is, she was, she's been missing since yesterday. Now let's talk to puppies. 3 minutes and it's gone. No follow-ups, no true crime detective work from other channels as well. I'm not saying all channels do this, but I've just seen a pattern. So that's the thing that's frustrating to me when I see something like this. Because I try as much as I can, whenever I get a story, I try to cover as much as I can. I try to keep it as even as I can. But then I see something like this and I'm going, nah, like this is taking us back. This is taking us down a route that I don't think that we want to go down. I see a lot of problems if somebody's running around and say this is in his new line of shirts and people are rocking this stuff. People, the general public is going to take this the wrong way. But then again, like I said, not surprised with this stunt, which is what I think it is. He's trying to provoke. He's trying to get he's trying to get people upset. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And then, of course, when his latest line drops or his album drops or whatever it is, everyone's going to remember this stuff. Either they're going to be for him or not. I can prep too. Thank you so much for the 10 Canadian. I appreciate it. My issue arises when it comes to children. I get we must address injustices, but we also need to be teaching our kids the value of all lives matter, to value all life, progress, not regression. See, now, the way you say this makes sense. But the way that some people in other demographics or in other chambers okay, will come towards this in such a way that comes off wrong. But I do agree. Every single person does. Every single person matters, of course. Of course. That is the given. And we do need to instill that into our children. Absolutely. There's so much violence and craziness going on right now. It's ridiculous. Okay? Shoot, half the stories I've done in the past month, more than half, have been about people just doing unbelievably heinous things to each other, all because of God knows what. Shoot, we talking about a Debbie Collier case, and we don't know who did it, but think about what they did to her. That's insane. People are crazy out here. All right. Now, and this is part of it too. So just to add it to what I Can Prep 2 said, okay? We can keep saying all lives matter, but it is really true when certain groups' lives hardly ever matter, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say here. Okay, Bree from downtown, okay, comes in with the truth, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say here too. There are people out here that are still fighting for justice, fighting for equality, fighting for a proper way of life. That is very true. So, like I said, when I see something like this, I mean, I laugh at it. I think it's hilarious when I first see it. But then at the other part, I go, damn, here comes all the kids and all the people that may be a little bit extreme right. Let's just say that are going to be hopping on this wave and saying, well, Kanye wore it, so I can too, can't I? It's not racist anymore. He just destroyed that. Now it's equal, right? I beg to differ. But there was one piece that he did say, and I can't find it. I've been trying to find it. Because he had a statement that he made like on his IG. Maybe somebody in the family can find this, okay? But he made a statement, and maybe you guys can send it to me. That would really mean a lot. He was talking about art and how he doesn't like being stuck in a bubble or stuck in a box, and he likes to think outside of the box. And to me, I don't think this is thinking outside the box. I think this is just him trying to gaslight and provoke something negative rather than provoke something positive. That's what I think. Now, of course, there's other videos, which I'm going to show you guys here too. 1 second. Actually, some photos, actually. This is another photo from the actual fashion show. And again, that's the thing. It wasn't only Kanye West and Candace Owens wearing this ish. There were other people wearing, let me get rid of that real quick. Sorry. There were models that were actually wearing this. If I'm correct, from what I'm hearing, Lauryn Hill's daughter was rocking one of the shirts in the runway show. Rocking one of the shirts in the runway show. Again, there it is. I mean, there's multiple angles here. I mean, there's angles. There's angles up in this biz naive. Plenty of people have been rocking this, and of course, himself, Candace Owens, while he's putting this whole thing together and all that. And this, of course, has really, let's just say, turn people on its end. Real talk. Oh, come on. Yes. Let me show you guys this. So in this article, it says, of course, he's been trying to break off from Adidas and all that because of various reasons. But here's some things, some pieces of the actual event. And it's like a t-shirt. What does that say? It says, before the models appeared, West gave a speech while wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt with the Pope's face on in the front. So on the front of the shirt, it's him. It's it's the Pope rocking this stuff. He referenced his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian's 2016 Paris robbery, Scooter Braun, the struggles he faced entering the fashion industry, and his recent fallout with Gap. Okay. Yeah, because he's got a fallout with Gap. Apparently, he's got a fallout with Adidas as well. Clearly, he's trying to do his own thing. But there it is. Some of the models in the show wore the same shirt with White Lives Matter on the back, as well, while fans on social media reacted. And this is another. Like I said, it wasn't just him and Candace Owens. There were other models that were rocking this ish. Just to be completely honest. Somebody said sending a White Lives Matter t-shirt down a runway in Paris is literal insanity, and no amount of gospel is going to get that man through Heaven's Gate. I'm so sorry. People are not feeling this. But I think that's exactly what he wanted. Mind you, Kanye was just calling Kim and Chris the triple Ks for 2 weeks ago. And now he's wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. I mean, he also called her a prostitute, if I'm correct. Oh, no, I'm not saying. Candace Owens also called Kim Kardashian a prostitute and her mom, Kris Jenner, a pimp. And then they're standing side by side together. Like, what the hell? Northwest took a starring role in her father's Yeezy show today, joining a choir of children who performed remixed versions of religious songs. So even his daughter was involved with this whole thing. Now, the thing I want to know then is, what is the reason behind White Lives Matter? What was his motive? What is his motivation behind that? She later helped lead the group off stage for the finale of the show. And that's basically it on that. He said after he was talking about the fallout with the Gap, and he said much more. He said, "I'm Ye, and everyone here knows that I am the leader." He said at one point, referencing his new legal name. "You can't manage me." Before the show, Ye teased some of the famous models expected to make appearances. Kardashian 41, ex-girlfriend. All this stuff doesn't matter. However, it appears some people made appearances with the Russian model watching from the side as the other two walked the runway. Some of the models in the show wore the same shirt, White Lives Matter, on the back as well, while fans on social media reacted. So yeah, I mean, this whole thing, is this his way of trying to, I think, stoke the flames, piss some people off, in my personal opinion. And that's it. Let's see this. Debs, thank you so much for the 5. Perfect example is news coverage of Lyric Wood. Yep, versus Devin Clark. It's infuriating. Perfect example. Thank you. From downtown. Exactly. Lyric Wood, Devin Clark. They were found on the side of the road. Apparently, they had multiple gunshot wounds found on the side of the road. This 14-year-old girl and a 18-year-old boy were just found there. Devin Clark is black. Lyric Wood is white. The coverage on that story was very off kilter. They were all like, "Oh, Lyric Wood is such and such and such and such," and very little about Devin Clark. Very, very little about that young black teen. Again, it's very, very frustrating. Shooting the Breeze, thank you so much for the 5. Sometimes I feel like Kanye manufactures a downward spiral because if you set the bar at its lowest, you can only go up from there. That is, you ain't wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he is trying to do as much as he can to just stoke the flames and shock and awe. Like he's trying to be his own version of a shock jock, I guess. I don't know. But then again, you look at this and it's like, welcome to the world that we live in. It's bad. In my personal opinion, this is not a good piece. But like I said, it doesn't piss me off. It doesn't upset me. Why, you ask? Because I expect this from Kanye. When I saw this, I was like, yeah, sounds like Kanye. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, he would do that. Yeah, he would do that. And yes, of course he would have Candace Owens right there. You got to remember. Oh, and I got this theory I wanted to say to you guys there too. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines here very shortly. I promise you that. Okay. But one thing, of course, he's leaning harder towards Candace Owens. Okay. Maybe there's some political aspirations he has in the near future. Candace Owens, I feel, is working her way towards that as well. They're standing next to each other, getting all chummy and ooey gooey now, but getting friendly again. I know she's married and all that, but I'm just saying they're getting real friendly. She's been wearing a lot of his stuff, rocking his stuff on social medias and stuff. She's been dropping his name quite a bit on her show and on other things, saying that she's got a close relationship with Kanye West. Could there be something in the future? Politically speaking, I'm just saying. And I'll say this, though, too. I think it's really frustrating when there's a level of people out here that have their conservative views. And then there's another piece when it just turns into puppetry. When it just turns into, I need to say whatever I need to say so that I have the right, or even the left, let's be real, okay? Because it's on both sides, okay? It's on both sides of the spectrum here. I got to say whatever I can say, all the right trigger words, so that every single person that's on the right, that is conservative or super far right, will sit there and go, ooh, I like them. And I want to embrace these particular talking heads because they're saying all the right trigger words. They're saying all the good words, all the key words that I like to hear because I'm on the conservative side. Oh, and what's even greater, they're black. And so he's wearing that, so it's not racist anymore. Yay! I'm telling you, this is coming. It's coming. It's coming. And you never know what's to come here. Them, chilling in the cut. Let me grab that up again one more time. Them chilling in the cut at his fashion show. You really think that they're doing this just for this? I feel like there's more to this. And you know that he has his own political aspirations and he has his own dreams of maybe running this country. I don't know. We clearly have seen people out here that are very much embracing and loving Candace Owens. Okay. And like I said, to each their own. I'm not here to talk about any of that other stuff. I'm here to just talk about this and this alone. But there are plenty of people that sit there and go, "Oh, thank you." They're pointing out the hypocrisy, Look at that. But again, I feel like this is going to turn into something negative. There's going to be one kid that feels that, okay, now that they've normalized this, they made it equal, they made it even now. They neutralized this phrase now that they can go and wear that particular shirt. And that kid is going to find themselves in a heap of trouble, quite possibly. They go to a Subway, right, to go eat fresh. And somebody in that line gets very upset. It's one thing to wear a MAGA hat, okay? It's one thing to wear a MAGA hat or a Trump 2024. It's one thing to wear that. It's another thing to wear this out here in these streets. I'm telling you right now, somebody is going to try to put something like this on. And I don't think anything good is going to come out of their trip outside in the world wearing this stuff. Just saying. Just saying. But again, I'm wondering when Kanye West's album is about to drop. That's what I'd really like to know. When is his album going to drop? Because clearly he's got something. He's got something up his sleeve for sure. That's what I think. But I want to hear your thoughts on this, and I'd love to hear some new voices. Say that real quick. I'd love to hear some new voices. So give me a call. It is 314-766-4581. Again, would love to hear some new voices. Some new voices. And again, of course, I appreciate the comments and all of that. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yo, this is Shooting the Breeze.
Hey, Shooting the Breeze. What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. So what's on your mind? Speak on it.
No, yeah. So a lot of this just really concerns me because I feel like the world seeing a handful of Black individuals wearing shirts like this tells them to invalidate it. Like they'll say, well, see, Kanye believes this, or Candace Owens believes this, or Officer Tantrum believes this, or whomever, Larry Elder, whomever, right? And they take those few handful of Black people who say, oh, racism doesn't exist, or that's not real, and then they use it to invalidate your experience. And I feel like that's a very dangerous situation because I feel like as individuals, we learn best from people's stories and sharing experiences. And even if our lived experience is different, that we can get a lot from understanding other people's emotions and building up empathy and compassion towards other people. And I feel like this creates a different type of environment. And then we're already divided, but then they say, well, see, the left does this, or see, the right does this. And then you see Black people who wear shirts like this, and they say, well, if they can do it, why can't you think like this? Mm-hmm. And I just think it's a dangerous position to be in.
I think it is an absolute dangerous position for sure. I think this is where we're at, right? They have now started this. And I mean, obviously there's other people that have worn these shirts before, but never have I ever seen anybody you know, let's just say I've never seen anybody black wear these shirts. I have seen these shirts in other situations, but they've been in, alt-right type of alt-right type of groups, white supremacist groups, etc. I've never seen this before. So that's the thing. I agree that they have now are probably going to start this tidal wave of normalcy for this. And it's going to cater to a specific realm, mostly on the right side, that are going to find this. They're going to give a thumbs up to it. And if anybody who is maybe black that's rocking this and is a conservative, they're going to be embraced even more by the far right, let's just say, because they're wearing these kinds of shirts. I feel like it's going to turn into a thing. We're going to see Brandon Tatum rocking this. You see what I'm saying? I could see it going down that route, right? I could see it being something more. And it would be all black conservatives rocking these shirts, basically saying like, I'm in solidarity with the conservative right. I don't know. It's very strange to me.
There is a shirt that I have seen, at least online, other people's rock, and I think it's Joel Patrick, but he has a shirt that says, "This shirt is 100% cotton, and I wear it because I picked it." And I just think this is gross. This is really gross. I feel like, why is it that if we're trying to say, look, you don't have to be a victim. Look, your past doesn't have to hold you back. Look, there are opportunities out there for you. But why do you have to do it in such a way that denigrates the whole experience of racism or systemic racism? Even if you don't experience it, there's a good majority of individuals, for example, that don't experience direct racism, right? And they say it doesn't exist. They say, I've never been called the N-word. I've never, had other racial slurs thrown at me. I've never had this, and I live in an all-black community, or I was that one token person, so they treated me okay. Well, yeah, you can have those experiences, but that doesn't mean that other people don't have them. And what happens is when you see things like this, why is it that I feel like when I often see grifting Black folks on the right, they often use, let's just say, harms of the past as jokes to say, get over it. And I just think that's really disgusting. It's like, why can't you, if you want your people, quote unquote, like Candace says, she wants Black people to be more successful, right? Why couldn't you be like, for example, like Philip Scott, where he talks about positive imaging and positive messages of Black people across the diaspora all over the world, especially even in Africa. And my whole thing is that if you want people to do better, then why don't you lead by example by showing folks to do better? But instead, you're raging against something that you say doesn't impact you, but yet you make it a whole part of your messaging. And that doesn't make any sense to me. If you want the positive image of Black people to be out there, just be the positive image.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? That's beautifully said. Be the positive image. Be the light to lead us in the right direction, not do controversy, or shed this, or try to shed a negative statement, and try to normalize that. Because that's, to me, what it feels like. It feels like they're trying to, go against, right? Go against the grain, go against this, and try to normalize this, to make it be a thing. And, and then, of course, as soon as like someone like myself or anybody else that says that looks at this and says, no, I don't think this is cool, then of course there's a certain group of people that will sit there and go, well, what is that? What do you mean? So now you think white lives don't matter? It's like, no, I do believe that, but I don't believe in this phrase, and what it stands for. or what it stood for before. It's like them, like in a way, there's a video of him saying like, because he was rocking the Confederate flag, like a decade ago, and just basically saying like I'm doing it because one, it turns heads, and two, I'm trying to take it back type thing. And I feel like this is his way of doing the exact same thing. It's him trying to turn heads, trying to shock and awe, like I said before, but also he's in a way trying to take it back, like the N-word. Oh well, if it just said the N-word on their backs, would we be reacting in some sort of way? I think we still would too, because of the negative context that it has, right?
No, yeah, that makes sense. And I just don't think that this is something that we can take back, because at the end of the day, slogans like White Lives Matter or All Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter is really not born out of directly calling someone out, right? It's born out of people who are now uncomfortable that they're no longer centered, right? So these phrases stem from very personal places about certain groups or certain individuals and how individuals feel. And actually, it's not, to me, when I hear All Lives Matter, I don't think that it's necessarily a slur towards me, but I do feel like it denigrates the message of, for example, Black Lives Matter or Indigenous Lives Matter when we're trying to recenter something. And the one thing I will say, just the last thing I will say is,
Sure.
I feel like when we think about this, and I'd like people to think about, and I know a lot of your audience already gets this, it's like, I like to think about, how do you compare like Black Lives Matter to All Lives Matter or White Lives Matter? I think about it like this. Black Lives Matter is like you going into a hospital and the doctors, and you're in the emergency room and doctors have to triage, right? Heart attacks, gunshot wounds, like really catastrophic injuries often will take precedence over things like you come in because you have the flu, or you have some undiagnosed like viral cold, or you don't know what it is, or your asthma is moderate and it's not severe enough to keep you taking up a bed. They will prioritize and triage and re-triage just to make things a priority. It doesn't mean that your health doesn't matter, and you will be seen at some point. It just means that at this point, we have to focus on these critically ill patients at the moment. It doesn't mean that you're still not going to be treated. And that's what I feel like sometimes is missed when we see things like, well, White Lives Matter, and people try to argue for it. Well, it's like, no, right now we're focusing on those that have the most catastrophic injuries in society, but it doesn't mean that your life doesn't matter. Now, let's just say something happens to you and it gets to the point of catastrophic injury, we will center you the way you need to be centered so that we can take care of you. And this is the thing I feel like people don't see as nuanced. It has to be all or nothing. There's no dialectic in it at all. And then I'll just leave it at that.
And those are really very, very good points. And Bree, I appreciate you calling in. I really do appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, listen, Bree, has come onto the show many, many times before. So it is really nice to have her back on and hear her opinions on things. Very well worded, very well spoken. And she dropped some serious points there throughout the entire thing. And that's the struggle of it all. It's not like myself, for example, it's not like I'm sitting here saying that though the white lives don't matter. They do. But it's what it comes with. And that's the problem. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where are you calling it from?
Hey, Pascal, how you doing?
Man, good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Ray, calling from Orlando.
Okay, Ray from Orlando. What's on your mind, man? Speak on it.
Yeah, okay. So to be honest, I'm not even surprised it's from Candace Owens and Kanye West, especially Candace Owens out of all people.
Right.
I mean, like,
come on.
Because it's like when I saw this, I couldn't do nothing but like just shake my head, like, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm really not surprised.
Yeah.
And it's like my honest opinion how I feel about Candace Owens and Kanye West. I feel like Candace Owens is like, it's like that type of the the token black person, like basically like the person who says, "Hey, I'm not racist. I have a black friend."
And
That's how I feel about Candace Owens. She's like that type of a person who's racist. They say, "Hey, look, I'm not racist. Look, I like Candace Owens."
yeah, I see what you're saying on that. It's like, oh, I can't be racist. I got my one black friend, and it happens to be Candace Owens. I see what you're saying on that. I mean, to me, when I see this, it is not a surprise. Like you just said, it's not a
Not,
surprise.
it's not.
I think that they are relishing in how Twitter or the internet, social media is reacting to this thing. But I do think that they have a certain amount of power. I hate to say it like that, but they do. They have
It's
a
true.
certain
It's
amount of
true.
power, and they need to realize that with certain power comes great responsibility, or with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that they were
Yep.
reckless with this. That's just what I think. This is reckless.
Yeah.
And I think it could
Yeah, 'cause
turn into something bad. But go ahead.
Yeah, because I remember like the other day, like my grandma, like me and my grandma was talking about something like this the other day. She was saying how like celebrities and like certain influencers on the internet, they're influencers. You know, celebrities, influencers, public figures, they're all influencers for their fans, and all of them lead by example. And so, like, really, again, when my grandma saw this today, me and her was talking about this again, and she was saying how dangerous it is wearing a shirt like this, like wearing like a White Lives Matter shirt, because she's literally saying that what if like some child that's like, it doesn't matter, like she was saying like, what if it's like some kid wears this to school and some kid who supports Black Lives Matter see this, she's literally saying it's going to cause a huge fight.
It will. It most definitely will. And that's what I'm saying. That's the thing I'm concerned
Yeah.
about more than anything in the world. Like, personally, I've seen crazy things. I have seen some things, okay, like that people wear.
Same.
And it's you live in Orlando, so you know for a fact you've seen some things, bruh.
I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people rock DeSantis shirts and hats.
Thank you. And then you see those things.
Look, and look, I'm a pass holder to Disney World, and I still be seeing people wearing DeSantis hats and shirts at Disney World, Universal. And hell, I was at Harlem Horror Nights 2 weeks ago at Universal. I was seeing someone wearing a DeSantis shirt. I'm like, come on, this is a Halloween event. Why are you wearing stuff political?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I have seen some things. So for me, it don't faze me none because I've seen worse. Okay.
Same.
And I've seen black people wearing Confederate flag shirts and MAGA hats.
Oh, me too.
Me too. I have seen some things. Okay. So so something like this, I laugh at and I go, ha. But then when I really think about it, I go, this could be something, this could turn into something dangerous. And then it could turn into a thing where other people, it turns into a thing. And I could be absolutely, and I could be absolutely wrong though, but we'll see.
No, I think you're right, because my honest opinion, I'm more worried about the children with this, because adults lead by example. Kids are our future, and kids, they mimic everything adults do. And so, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, the adults that's wear this, of course, the kids are going to copy them and wear this too. And like I said, bringing back to the issues at school, because stuff like this is always taught at home. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's always taught at home.
And then they're seeing this, they're seeing something like this, and I'm going, okay, now that they're trying to normalize this and all that, and trying to take it back, one of the questions that remains: will it be a success? Will it be a success? Will it be successful in the normalization of this? By taking it back. And will it? And the second question is: will it have any lasting power? Like, will we see will we see Ron DeSantis, let's just use for example, okay, rocking one of these shirts, and just saying,
I
well,
wouldn't
Kanye
even be
wore it, so I can.
surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised because we got our election coming up, so I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah, it just depends. I really do wonder. It really depends on how the right takes it. You see what I'm saying? It really depends on
Yeah.
how the right looks at this and says, yes, or they might go, "Ooh, no, that might be a little much." But I haven't seen so far. I have not seen any right-winged or more conservative commentators so far. I haven't seen anybody make any comments about this yet.
Yeah. I mean,
I saw the Quartering make a comment. The Quartering made a comment about it, but he was all like, "Oh, see, he's just poking the sleep and he's just messing with people and all that stuff." And he was just very much like a thumbs up to it. But that's the only person I've seen that's on the conservative side say anything about this.
I mean, because the thing is with me, like I'm more left leaning, more progressive, and the thing is with Florida is like Florida's like a mixed bag of political views. So it's like I do have some friends that like are conservative and are Republican, but it's like when I talk about things like the issues with Black people, like police brutality, Black Lives Matter, even when I talk about gay rights, the issues with Roe v. Wade,
right?
They actually agree with me and they understand what I'm coming from when I say this, and they never once responded to me like all lives matter, white lives matter, blue lives matter. They never said anything about being pro. I mean, they're pro-life, but they still understand why people are upset about why Roe v. Wade got overturned.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but like, and I did message one of my friends about this, like, because I did message one of my friends about this. I haven't got a response from him yet, but I think probably, because I know some of my conservative friends would think this is stupid. I mean, because hell, they think blue lives matter and saying all lives matter is stupid, and they're like hardcore conservative.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's
I wouldn't say they're hardcore conservative. I would say like I would say they're more like Republican. I would say they're more like center right. Yeah, I would consider them more center right.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm very interested to see where the right is going to take this. Like how they're going to take this, if they're going to embrace this or if they are going to be, or if they're going to sit there and go, I got nothing to say about that. I'm going to walk over here and, my name's Bennett and I ain't in it. That could be it too.
Yeah.
Or they embrace it entirely and it turns into the new MAGA shirt. You know what I mean? It turns into the new fashion statement for the conservative right, for the conservatives. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
We'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait and see because, like I said, I remember when Black Lives Matter first became a thing, it was causing a lot of controversy from people from the right. That's when the whole all lives matter and blue lives matter thing came along.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting thing, though. But hey, man, I appreciate you calling in and being a part of the conversation. Thank you so much for calling in, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You too. Have a great night.
Thanks, man. You too. Peace. All right, I'm going to close the phone calls for now, but I appreciate all y'all for calling in and being a part of the conversation. I do have a couple super chats that I want to get to before they all disappear on me. And and also I do want to say this. I appreciate you guys for coming in and being and just having this conversation with me. So all y'all, the family that are watching this, because I know this is not a topic that most of y'all are interested in checking out. You want to hear some other stories and topics as well, but we talk about everything on this channel. So some shows may not be for you or may be for you. You know what I mean? If you're interested in just talking things out and figuring things out, one conversation at a time. But Albus, thank you so much for the 200. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Just because he's a creative genius when it comes to art, looking up to him expecting him to make sense on everything else is just like kids looking up at TikTok influencers for life advice. I agree. I absolutely agree. Hence the reason why I go meh, and I'm like, I'm not surprised with this stunt because I feel like it's a stunt. Okay. You got Candace Owens standing right next to him and promoting it and putting it on Twitter and on her YouTubes and all that stuff as well. Okay. So clearly it is a stunt, but it's also putting her name out there even more because there's people out here who don't know who Candace Owens is at all. Right. But it most definitely is putting her name out there with her standing next to Mr. Kanye West himself, okay, who's always in the tabloids in some sort of way, okay? Jacqueline Whitting, thank you so much for the $1 super sticker. I do appreciate that. Just like Steph P, okay, said, thank you so much for the 2. She said, it's to gain the young black vote for the GOP. Interesting. That is very interesting. That's very interesting. I will say that. Clumsy Clairvoyance, thank you so much for the 2. Okay. Who is Candace Owens? LOL, sorry, I'm late here. It's all good. There's not a lot of people who know who Candace Owens is, but here it is. This is working. Why? Because Clumsy Clairvoyance, who doesn't know who the hell Candace Owens is now about to know who Candace Owens is because of this stunt. It's a big ass stunt. It's a big ass political stunt. That's it. But for those who don't know who Candace Owens is a black conservative political pundit, political commentator that talks about a bunch of things on her show. She has her own show. She's got a podcast, etc. And she talks about everything, everything from political stuff to controversial stuff to pop culture. And she just puts her own 2 cents about things that are going on in the world. Now, I did do a video about her covering Kim Kardashian and where she called her a prostitute and all that stuff. And the funny thing is it was one of the first times I've ever listened to Candace Owens and I actually agreed with her on something. Usually I listen to her and I don't agree because my political views or the way I think the world is or what I'd like the world to become is maybe a little different than her perspective. But I do think that there are some things that we see eye to eye on. I don't think we see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I think there's a few things that we do see eye to eye on. You know what I mean? But she is a conservative, right-winged, black conservative pundit. Let's just say that. And she makes a lot of money talking about how the woke left is destroying everything. Basically, that it's the common theme it's the common theme when you have left, liberal commentators. They're talking about how the right is destroying the world. And then the right commentators will say the same thing about the left. Oh, go woke, go broke, or, the world's going to going down in, a barrel of burning cat piss, or it's going down in a barrel, going down in going down to hell in a handbasket or something like that. I forgot the phrase, but anyway, you know how it is. Everyone's pointing at each other and saying it's because of the left. No, it's because of the right. And it's, all of them, they all do the same thing. Let's keep it real. Witchy Gemini, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Okay. But see, this is the thing. Okay. This is the world that we live in. And then we see something like this. And in my personal opinion, fine. Kanye can do whatever the hell he wants. It doesn't faze me. It's not going to change my world. It's not going to change the my household. It's not going to change how I live my life, how I pay my bills, etc., how I eat my food. But at the same time, it's the message that I'm worried about. What is the message he is trying to make with this? Is there any message he's trying to make with this, or is it just him trying to get some people pissed off? That's literally all I ask, because we already know he's somebody who's out here being controversial all the damn time. He sits there and attacks Pete Davidson when he was smashing Kim Kardashian allegedly. You know, he makes music videos where he's doing crazy things to that guy in claymation videos and all that stuff. He puts things out on blast, putting his wife's personal business between him and her on blast, so on and so forth. So we already know that this is a guy, okay, that pushes the envelope all the bloody time. So then when I see something like this, again, what is his message? And if there is a message, or is there a message here? Or is he just being Kanye? Okay. Let me see here. Sorry, I was looking for a comment here, but I lost it. But yes, such an interesting conversation, such an interesting piece, and just very, very interesting to say the least. But I'm glad to have the conversation with you guys, because this is something that I feel like we all need to talk about and chat about. And I know that it's hella polarizing. That's the whole purpose of the image. That's the whole purpose of his message, to be polarizing. And of course, the queen of polarizing things is standing right next to him. So of course, it is choreographed in some specific way. But I will say, I'm just not here for it. I'm just not. Okay? Personally. But then again, hey, he has the right to express himself in any way he wants, through art, through his fashion, to express himself. And that, if that's what he wants to express himself with, then so be it. That's his life, But for me, I'm not for it. I'm just not. Okay? I'm really not for it. Hey, Tyler, I'm sorry, man. The phones are shut off right now because I have got to shut the show down. But I am glad that you guys all came on and chopped it up with me. I really do appreciate it, because this is not an easy one. Okay? Okay? This is not an easy conversation, I think that there's a lot that I'm sure he's going to be doing. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because, again, it wasn't only just Candace Owens and Kanye West wearing those shirts. There were many other models wearing the same thing as well. So the question still remains. I wonder what happened with those models. Were those models sitting there turning to him and being like, wait, why are we wearing this? What's up with this on the back of the shirt? What's up with that? I wonder if he actually explained it. And maybe he really will explain it at some point. Or he'll just leave it the way it is and say, I don't need to explain nothing. I'm creating art, and that's all that it is. Well, we'll see what happens, for sure. But I love all my people. I love all my family. I appreciate all you guys for being here and being a part of the conversation. regardless of how tough or easy this conversation was. We needed to have this conversation. And if you disagree with me or agree with me, I still love you. Okay? We need to have these conversations and have opposing views on things. This is the only way that we can progress and move forward, right? As if we all come together and talk about things together and talk about it diplomatically, not be a jerk about it. Let's be real, okay? But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Be on the lookout for a pop-up video that will be out here in just a few minutes. So keep an eye out because I got this pop-up video. It's very important, okay? So please go and check it out when it does drop, okay? It's a little bit more in the true crime realm, so be sure to tune in for that, okay? And I got to get going. Please be sure to hit that like button down below. Crush it, make it scream out your name. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button, all right? It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Like I said, we talk about everything on this channel. Everything from true crime, pop culture, political, controversy, you name it, everything on this show. So please do me that solid. Oh, my Lord. I forgot to do the thing. I forgot. I got to kill the music. I forgot. So those of y'all who are about to leave, don't leave yet. Dag nab. You know, I was hoping that was going to be more people here so I can give you guys a little bit of some cool news. Okay, a little bit of an announcement. I'll leak it here right now. But there's a very big piece of information that I am going to drop right now. So, big announcement. Later on this month, I will be sitting across from Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt, Gabby Petito's parents, for an all-exclusive interview, face-to-face, right here on the Pascal Show. We're going to be talking about everything that led to her being found, everything that has to do with her life, what she left behind, the Gabby Petito Foundation that they created, their relationships, etc. There's a lot that we're going to be talking about, and it's going to be a very, very big conversation. So I did want to show you guys or tell you guys that information. So I will be having an exclusive, very exclusive live. It will be broadcast live interview with Gabby Petito's parents, both Joe and Nicole, exclusively. And I cannot wait to sit down and talk to them because this month is DV Awareness Month, and they are big advocates for spreading awareness for and the prevention of DV. And they really wanted to sit down and have a conversation and talk about a lot of things, not only just Gabby Petito and a little bit of Brian Laundrie, but also talk more about missing persons, people who are survivors and still surviving DV right now as we speak, and just bringing some more awareness and more education to those who are still in dire straits, still surviving right now. So big show, big news. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, it's going to be incredible. I will let you guys know more information as we get closer to the date and all that stuff. But I just wanted to give you guys a snippet, a small piece of info. And that is, again, sitting down with Gabby Petito's parents for an all-exclusive interview. They're going to tell everything, and it's going to be amazing. So I cannot wait, okay? Be sure to tune in and be a part of the conversation, okay? And, of course, again, check out PascalMerch.com, all right? That would be greatly appreciated. 20% off. Again, 20% off. All right. 20% off of everything in the store right now till Friday night. Okay? Till Friday night, right now, as we speak, everything in the PascalMerch.com store is 20% off. We got some really great stuff in there. So check that stuff out. That'd be greatly appreciated. It's been an amazing show, guys. I appreciate all y'all for being here, being a part of the conversation. You guys have been amazing, okay? And it's time to get going. Oh, I guess, what's going on? What? What's up with Tyler? Tyler mad or something? Okay. Sorry, man. I have to go. All right. But anyway, I guess he unsubbed. It's okay. People do it all the time. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I appreciate you guys. Before you get going, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. All right. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button as well. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. I appreciate you guys. You guys are incredible. It is time to get going. Have a good one, guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next show. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.